Hi, so my name is Kira Gomez, and I did my presentation over the Barkley Marathon, the race that eats its young. So, what is the Barkley Marathon? The Barkley Marathon is an ultra marathon trail race held in Frozen Head State Park near Wartburg, Tennessee. It's known as one of the hardest races in the ultra running world. It was created by Gary Lazarus Lake, who was a runner himself and an original ultra runner. Every year, hundreds of runners from around the world apply, and only 40 runners are invited. Part of the application involves a test, and a condolence letter is sent when you have been accepted, which is kind of funny. Another interesting fact about the Barkley Marathon was that it was actually influenced by the James Earl Ray escape. And James Earl Ray is the assassinator of Martin Luther King Jr., and he escaped from the Brushy Mountain Penitentiary in June 1977. Um, it was a long search, but they eventually found him, and he was, dehydrated and ultimately just wasn't able to, continue. And Gary Lazarus thought it would be kind of funny to make a race out of this, or essentially, a marathon out of the area, since he actually recognized and was familiar with the area and would go hiking all the time. And that's where the inspiration kind of came about, since he kind of wanted to see people can actually challenge themselves um, through this area. What was the central question of the documentary? I believe there's a lot of takeaways in this film, and I truly do believe that it relies on the person themselves. One of the takeaways that I've got was accomplishments and failures. If you notice, a lot of the runners set some goals for themselves, and a lot of them weren't able to accomplish it, but they were still content to where they got, because they know that they push themselves to the limit, and they know what they've been through. And it's just about defining your own definition of success, and even accepting a failure. Even though you didn't accomplish what you wanted to, but you still put yourself to that challenge, and you set yourself up for that. So I think that's one of the important takeaways in this film. And Lazarus mentioned in the beginning, this is about you by yourself against all that's out there. And that's truly how you should take on the world. Sometimes you have to face challenges, and it's just you sometimes. And sometimes you're all that you need, in order to be successful. And once you know that about yourself, and you know that you can set yourself up for these challenges, and you're able to do them, I feel that you can accomplish anything. And that's one of the main takeaways. How does this film influence the lives of everyday people who are not professional athletes? I think the huge influence that it has is the fact that the people that are participating in these races are everyday people. If you notice in the films, the people that are participating in these races consist of old, young, female, male, doctors, retired vets, people with doctorate degrees, people of all status. And I think that's a huge influence that it has on people that are watching this film, because you can see yourself in these people, and you can find your own source of inspiration watching this, and you can find your own challenge. And you can notice that this race is not aimed for specific people. You don't just see 5-star athletes or people that are trained for these type of race. It's you see people just like you participating in this race, and I think that's a huge influence. How is the subjects orientated to the natural world around them? I feel like these runners are truly orientated with the natural world around them. They were truly educated with navigating themselves around a map, around the land, and they recognize, how to get themselves in and out of areas, and putting themselves against nature, and facing the danger and pain that comes involved with that. Because for the most part, you're just going against nature when you're out in the natural world. and these subjects truly orientated themselves around that. What makes this documentary interesting? This entire film was very interesting, and it was nothing like that I've ever watched before. Um, you get to see people's perspective and their drive, and witness people's failures and accomplishments. You notice people pushing themselves to the limit, and I think it kind of just reflects into yourself because it just makes you believe that you can face any challenges if you just put yourself to the limit. You just have to try sometimes, and just discovering something new about yourself. I think that's what's amazing. Some alternative views in this film will be the fact that this race is very dangerous and it's made to be very challenging, and the simple fact that it's probably made for a lot of people to not succeed, and it's probably the whole purpose of the course in the race itself.